Hello everybody, I'm here to give my beta impressions on Massive Chalice. Massive Chalice is a game in early access on Steam right now. It's also, well, I guess it's considered beta of version 0.9 DB117, whatever. And Massive Chalice is a game by Double Fine, creators of Psychonauts and other fun games. And, well, I'm playing this largely because I kickstarted the game many moons ago, and part of the benefits of me backing the game was I got beta access, and so here I am, and it's fun, and it's kind of want to make a video on what I think of the game so far. Obviously right now it is in a beta, early access, so anything and everything is up for change when the final release comes out, so don't take what I say as full hard fact, but it's something I figured I'd show off. So, what is Massive Chalice? Massive Chalice is, in fact, a strategy game, sort of like XCOM or Fire Emblem, in that you command squads of people to go around and fight off what they call the Cadence, which is this force of evil monsters kind of coming in at the edge of your kingdom, destroying everything around it. So, well, this is the kingdom, and it's pretty much you have to choose like which map to fight on represents, and I'll get to that later, but first we'll just kind of start off with what the actual battles look like. So there's always 2 territory attacks, and each have different rewards. Like this one gives a young level 2 female caberjack, which is like the heavy melee unit, and this one gives 2 times experience for the mission success. So we're gonna go here in order to stop the spread of the Cadence. And that's the big Massive Chalice. Yeah, the game, it's a hard game, to say the least. They are, it's brutal. It took me like 10 hours to really start picking up all of the mechanics of the game because of just how everything works. It really requires just you to just smack your head against a thing pretty much, and hope that eventually you'll learn it. So on, Alchemist or Alchemist. It's kind of fun is that the game has 2 separate modes. There's either like a serious or a silly mode. So right now I'm showing off a silly mode where we have House Baldovakeen, where there are sigils of rabbit. We got this house, which has a like a chicken or a rooster. We this house, which has like a fun tree frog head in the side. And these are also all made by other people who kickstarted the game, but who paid a lot more money than I did to do so.
Hero messed up the landing there. Not a good sign.
Quiet.
So one thing this game has got going for it is the humor. That they try to be funny, and well, sometimes I don't think they are funny. But you got the units here, and everybody has certain traits. Like this guy, he's got longevity, so he's 77 years old, but he's still fighting. But he's also infertile, he's got max HP. And everybody has these traits. Some of them, sometimes they can be good, where they have increased max HP, or sometimes they can be something like asthma, where they can't sprint for too long before becoming tired. And it's these sort of things you have to pay attention for as you go ahead and you try, say, breeding them to getting better soldiers in the future, or you want to just keep them fighting to have better soldiers actually on the lines. Let's see if I can actually get anywhere. I actually haven't seen this map yet, but it's a really cool art style, which I appreciate. It's very simplistic. Kind of looks like a Wind Waker almost in some ways. So this guy's a brutalist, and so you can throw an AoE flask, but I can't get anywhere yet. I'm just going to move my men up, see if I can actually get to the fighting and kind of explain what I think of it. Come on, guys. What up? But yeah, the reason why I'm making this video is because it is in early access right now, and I would have never bought it in early access. I tend to avoid early access games because I feel like, why would I buy a game that's not finished? But that being said, I figure it's a good way to give you guys information as to what it is. Like these guys, they got some unique enemy design, where these guys, not only they damage you, but they actually remove experience from your heroes. So they can actually like level down. So we got this guy, he's a brutalist class, he's part of a tree of alchemists. And what we'll do is go ahead and throw this here. As you can see, this guy got crit off of that and this guy didn't. And it's very basic to pick up. The largest difficulty stems from the fact that you really have to know what you're doing, because sometimes there's enemies who are just incredibly tough, and they you have to just throw men at them and lose people over and over and over again until you figure out the best way to do it, which is kind of a hassle. Second kill him? Thankfully that guy didn't die. Go ahead and have this caberjack move up. Kill him. For some reason they figured that the best way to do it is have their melee units have giant battering rams for their main weapon. But yeah,
Bulwarks, like lapses, prefer to fight from afar.
And you better make your first hit count, because at the slightest touch, this lug will shield itself, and then you're left standing with your caber in the wind.
But it only lasts a short while. So have your heroes ready for a second round. Or a third.
So, the people you heard just there are, in fact, the Massive Chalice. They are... This is not the position I should be. They're this two-faced chalice who are kind of commanding you and giving you the powers to do this. I can't even hit there. And they kind of comment and tutorialize. This guy's gotta run away. So you guys a lot of unique enemies, like the ones who take experience, or these guys who reduce all damage to 1 after taking damage. And these guys are stunned down. It's a hard game. This guy's dead. Just lost him.
It was bound to happen sooner or later, so you should get used to this now. There'll be a lot more before we're done.
This guy run back here.
Fighting for something bigger than themselves. Persevere and honor their sacrifice.
And now I pretty much just can't do anything until next turn because of that. This guy's actually going to run back to get enough range. I have my heavier melee units. Knock back.
Lost it all.
So the game really requires a lot of thinking in that part. To think like, okay, like who do I use to attack what? Because now all other damage, no matter how powerful the attack, will only do 1. So it's kind of this cross between just one tile here with you. I have to manage like who's gonna be where, who's gonna be in range, and oh, at least he didn't die. Things are actually going really well right now. Usually they go a lot worse.
Everyone counts.
Also, whenever somebody kills somebody, they have a little like battle cry. So that guy's family's battle cry was like roar or something like that. This guy. So he glanced. There's always a chance of glancing, which just does no damage pretty much. I've already lost 2 people this mission. Pretty sure they're both from the same family too. Hey, he didn't die? At least he didn't die. Oh, come on. Seriously? at least try whittling him down as much as possible. See, and I don't want to bash the enemy design too much, because it is obviously still beta. But the problem is that a lot of times it's just, I feel like they're unduly hard. It's like, oh, like he doesn't get reduced in speed or anything like that, he just kind of comes back the next turn. Which makes it really frustrating sometimes. Now that those guys are out of the way, we can actually start moving our other remaining troops up front. The lapses. Let's go knock this guy silly. Now, of course, he glanced. See, I feel like also like the chance of like glancing an enemy not doing any damage is really, really high compared to the fact that enemies can glance you but never do. I know, he lost a level. Miss! Damn. Seriously. See, this guy, he has like Coco Carica or something like that. I'm not even sure what these mean. Sometimes they're like an Italian or something like that. These people all over the world donated, and so they were the ones who made all these houses. This guy's lost like 2 levels this mission. Come on, kill it! See, this guy's got the lone wolf benefit, so because he's not close to anybody, he actually gets higher stats. Still got some enemies around somewhere. Hopefully on more bulwarks. Oh, it's a bulwark. Okay, perfect. Let's throw this over. And of course, I hit my own guys. Wonderful. Well, at least have him glance him. And you see where the game starts getting frustrating. It's like, oh, like I'm trying my best here to be able to kill this thing. At least, you know, make sure that him being hit with my own AoE is not worthwhile. But if he deals 2 damage, it gets really frustrating then. Oh, and there's another one. We're actually probably gonna wipe this. Say the enemy distribution. Yeah, seriously, another glance. That's my problem with this game. It's like, why is everything so hard to achieve? But the game just throws so much at you for the sake of difficulty. But it ignores the fact that, I mean, like, you don't have the silly equipment to deal with this. So now this guy's guaranteed to die. Doesn't matter. And even if I kill everything but one final minion on the map, it doesn't matter because it still considers me to be a loss, and I fail. It's got a lot of problems in like the difficulty department, I think, that it's just kind of unfair in the way it handles things. Of course, it's missing me a lot, which is weird. Maybe it's the lone wolf thing going on. And now I'm dead because I'm out of ammo. gonna go ahead and just run up and try killing this thing. Hoping that maybe they'll miss. Yep, and I lost.
Sure you lost, but think of what the next...
I'm not laying the blame at anyone's feet. Corruption in one of our regions is
A hero's death isn't something to be happy about, but this is good news.
Heroes that are particularly skilled at the time of their passing will have relics to their name that can be passed on to
Yes,
another life.
Only to heroes
should have
of the
turned
same
the
house.
voiceover
These sacred
off.
heirlooms are powerful monuments to their bloodlines and will only grow in strength
Yes, I
as they
can
are
explain
passed
this.
down the line.
So yeah, this guy, who was really awesome, the 77-year-old guy who died, he actually had a legendary weapon, which is called Truth. And it can only be passed down to people in his family. And as the generations go by, the weapon itself will level up. So right now it's a level 1 weapon that's just generated. But it's a little bit better than the basic caber that they had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bestow it upon Barth Zgeb, who is 5 years old right now. He's still in training, but when he once he grows up, he will be allowed to wield that weapon and be more effective. So, here's the kingdom. You notice there's these yellow diamonds everywhere. And that shows the corruption coming in. And if you get to 3 corruption, like the pieces start falling off, and I'll show you that later. So, the whole point of this game really is just to defend the regions. You may always start building some castles and stuff like that around. But the way you do to continue is that this game takes over the course of like thousands of years. So you start having these bloodlines and these castles. So we go to say here. Here's the Lord and Lady of the castle, and here's the kids they have for their training. And depending what classes the parents are, the kids come out to be different. So right now, this guy, who is the brother of the guy who just died, he's a caberjack who married a hunter, so their kid comes out to be a shadowjack, which I actually haven't even used yet. And you kind of use this to keep your bloodlines going. And when you're not doing anything, you let the, oh, well, that guy just died. Okay, well, looks like the 6-year-old kid is going to become the lord of that castle. Here, I'll, That's annoying. So right now there's a kid ruling that castle, which isn't gonna help me too much. And that's where the problem this game comes, that sometimes you just, like, run out of people. And you have to keep on defending and trying and building things. But, let's see. Chocolate? You died. Good boy.
All of ruling is choices, isn't it?
Fight here, yes. Use this, no. Did he do it? Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. That's ruling.
So the game also has a bunch of these events that come up where things happen, you make choices. So I'll let Chuckland win, he wants to arm wrestle me. So apparently this guy was like really weak and I destroyed him, so he lost experience and he's now known as Baby Hand because of that. Now these are the sort of things that happen as you make these decisions that go on. And they're different each time. Oh, territories were attacked, really? Okay, well, I wanted to show something off there, but what I will do is instead, as I want to load my other game. Now this game, probably put like 6 hours in. This is my first game, and as you can see, there's not much kingdom left. The game gets really overwhelming towards the end, and as they start filling up with the 3 levels of the corruption, they start falling into the sea pretty much, and crumbling. So, the game's really hard. it's not really forgiving. They just kind of throw everything at you. Another person died. And so this guy has a level 7 legendary weapon, as I've had it through many, many generations. So I guess I'll give it to the 2-year-old. And looks like another legendary weapon. Okay, we can have that too, I guess. Are there any more relics? That one I can bury with him. I'm actually confused. Okay. Apparently I couldn't lock that one away. So, once again, I need to appoint a 2-year-old kid to be the regent of this castle, because everybody's dying. So let's see if I can't show something else in the later game where we might get some more unit variety. It's hectic and a lot of things to take care of. Oh my god, everybody's dying. Okay, so here we can actually show people who are old enough to actually become regents. As you can see, this guy's got some pretty shitty stats. Yeah, this guy's patriotic, so I'll make him the leader. And now I have to choose his wife, or his partner. So I'll go ahead and do Katya Dugnar. And now they'll be having kids. And I feel like I have nobody left. But you can just see how terrible this game can go. People just die. And you have to start throwing all of your people into the keeps where they can't fight anymore, and it's hard. I really want to get into a battle.
Our power is half what it needs to be to cleanse this world of the Cadence. This calls for the horns of halves.
The game really likes its horns.
Don't let this get to your head. We still have a long way to go. And it's not going to get easier.
Too many battles have been lost because victory was assumed and not assured.
See, now the game's just taunting me. It's realized that so pretty much the chalice, when fully charged, allows me to cleanse all of the corruption in one region. It takes 300 years to charge this. I'm like 10 generations in, and I've already lost majority of my kingdom. Just to show how difficult this game is, pretty much.
This might take some thought.
I'm glad
Sure.
I don't have your job today.
I don't even know what that was. I've just given up. That's the problem. It's like this game is... Oh wow, now they're attacking 3 areas. Let's defend that region. Do I have any heroes left? Okay. So here's the heroes, and you get these skill trees. And they depend on the classes and what hybrid class they have. But the problem is, I've never actually been able to get heroes really above level 4. It's a trick shot. I've actually never had a trick shot before. So let's see. Flask shot. So they can this person's parents were a hunter and an alchemist. So now he can shoot alchemical arrows, pretty much. Like little, like, explosive arrows. There must be a similar thing here. Let's level these guys up. So, here you get into the problems where you start running out of people and have to deploy them to battle with less than the full squad.
May the horns of battle carry you to victory.
So, what's a little bit unfortunate is that I don't think that the game really changes the maps, depending on what you have and like how much corruption's in the area. And these are the late game units. We got things like Wrinklers, which they actually take 5 years off the lifespan of your people whenever they get hit. And then we got these Cradles, which I haven't even seen before, but I'm pretty sure they like spawn enemies. This stuff, it gets really hard at the end. but it's really imaginative. All these enemies are really freaking cool. And one shot. Oh, see, this guy, he took so much damage, and he also gained 5 years of his life. Oh, it's an advanced bulwark.
You can beat yourself up for this all you want, but we're still counting on you here.
Sorry, this mission is doomed to fail. Yep, completely missed that one. So let's see how fast it takes for me to die in this one. That wasn't too bad. But, yeah. I would say that this game has a lot of potential. And that it can, I feel like it will be really good. Like a strategy game, like to be remembered, really. But as of right now, it's just too hard. Let's see, what can we do? Oh, just didn't make it. Well, at least we kill one thing. So this is my more serious run, where the houses actually have like cool names and things. So yeah, that guy just kind of spawns little things. Maybe he'll attack. It doesn't attack. At least there's that. There are certain enemies which swap places by teleporting you away from your team into like their spot, and then they can attack afterwards. And just the game, it's just its balance just is not that great. Way off. Let's see how quickly I die now. It's like they have so much HP, and you expect you to be able to beat these things. Oh, yeah, and they crossed over. So, now what you're gonna see is, once again, all of these regions falling into the sea. Really cool animations. It did make it. The game looks really cool. So yeah, where's to buy? I probably wouldn't recommend doing it in early access. Right now the game has a lot of things going on, and it needs to be fixed. I have no doubts that when the game comes out, it will, let's just ignore them. Have that thing fall into the sea. When the game comes out, I have a feeling as though, it'll be really good. But right now, they really need their, they really need to get their stuff together, get this balance going, and have better tutorials. Weird. Let's not see what the recruitment boost does. So there's a bunch of research and stuff you can do to recruit new people and get some really cool upgrades. But since it all takes like 15, 20 years to do, it's hard really to get into. So Massive Chalice, I'd say it's worth looking into, but not worth picking up now. I definitely wouldn't have bought it if I didn't already get it just for backing and Kickstarter. But something I have been enjoying, but it's just incredibly frustrating. So yeah, that's my impressions of the beta of Massive Chalice. Let me guys know what you think. Should I do more of this sort of thing? Never touch it again? We always see maybe play this game now, or in the future when the game really comes out. And just let me know in the comments below. You know, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, all that jazz. Usually don't ask for that sort of thing. But thank you guys for watching, and of course, I will see you guys next time.